Hi everyone, welcome to the AP2V Academy. This is Sachin Sani and I'll be your instructor for Python programming language. I have been in IT for the last 3 years and I have been working with the AP2V Academy for last 2.5 years as an instructor. And now AP2V Academy provides multiple training inside the trending technologies as well as trending programming languages. And nowadays Python is the most trending programming language because if you are using a Python, so you can simply use Python programming language in multiple and various fields. Okay, just an example, if you like to go for a machine learning, artificial intelligence, or a automation, okay, so in these all fields you can simply use a Python right now. And now if you are an IT guy, at least you have to know about a one programming language, and Python is one of them. So here we will learn about the Python, and before that I would like to explore the course content. What we gonna cover in next 30 years. So let me open the course content here for you. So this is a course content what we gonna cover in Python core and advanced combo. Okay, this is a package of a 2 month. The duration of the course will be 2 months. Now either you can simply take a weekday session or you can simply take a weekend session. Now it's depend on you. Now, when you will cover this course content, you will be able to write the automation scripts and the basic automation scripts, as well as you will be able to create some websites using the Django background. Okay, and now at least you have to know the little bit about the front end knowledge as well as. And now there's a multiple methods. Now we have to learn about the Python here. Now this is actually course content what we're gonna cover. And now in this chapter 1, we will cover about the introduction to scripting language. Okay, we will learn here what is a programming language and what are the different type of programming language and what are the differences between all the programming language and the scripting language. Okay, so because Python is an interpreter programming language, so we will learn all the basic structure of the Python here. So actually the chapter 1 and the chapter 2, both the chapter will be a theoretical session. Okay, in chapter 2 we will learn about the introduction to Python. Okay, why Python is most trending in nowadays and why we have to learn Python. Okay, what are the benefits of using a Python. So the first and second chapter will be theoretical chapter and we will learn about the first. After that we have to go for a practical sessions. Okay, in chapter 3, we will discuss about the download and execution Python in different platforms. Because Python is a cross-platform programming language, or either you will create your programming code on top of Windows or a Linux, you'll be able to execute the same code on top of a different platform. So how can you simply set up the isolated development environment on top of different operating systems, just suppose Windows, Linux, Mac, Ubuntu, whatever you are using in your machine. Then how can you simply set up the path, okay, in Windows and Linux. So we will learn all the basic structure of the Python. We will set up the environment in chapter 3. After that, in chapter 4, we will learn about the data structure inside, what data structure, what we want to use inside a Python. Okay, so these are the very trending data structure. These are the now some of data structure are new as compared to different programming language. Okay, just like string, list, dictionary. So we will learn about the old data structure inside a chapter 4. Okay, now in chapter 5 we will learn about the string, and now we have take another chapter for a string, because inside a string you have to use multiple functions to manipulate your string. Either you can simply, if you would like to convert your string into a uppercase or a lowercase, it's your choice. So how can you manipulate your string? Okay, so how can you perform operations along with your string? So we will learn inside the chapter 5. In chapter 6, we will learn about the logic and condition. And now what is actually a logic and condition? If you like to perform some program, okay, those programs are depend on on a different type of logic. If you will take in a basic example, if you like to withdraw a money from ATM, okay, you have to enter the, first of all you have to swipe your card, after that you have to enter the pin, right? And now on that case your pin will be checked by a particular condition. If the condition will be true, you will be able to withdraw your money from the ATM. If the condition will be false, you will not be able to withdraw the money. So that type of condition, how can you simply execute inside the Python? So we will learn inside the chapter 6. In chapter 7, we will learn about the loops here. And what is actually a loop? If you like to execute a single task at a multiple time. So when you will use a loop here, so you don't need to write your code again and again. You can simply execute your single piece of code at multiple times. And now we will learn here two type of loop, the for loop and the while loop. And one we will use a for loop. For loop is used for iteration, and while loop is running until yet your condition will be true. Once your condition will be false, your loop will be terminated here. So this is all about it. In chapter 8, we will learn about the exception handling. And exception handling, let's suppose if your program will be fatal on a specific condition, or it could be if you are trying to give an input inside your program, okay, you have gave a wrong input inside a program and your program will be fatal. So if you like to accept those type of exception inside your program, so you have to use the exception handling concept. When you will use the exception handling, your program will not be fatal, the program will be successfully execute, and you will get a specific error what actually is error is you are facing there. In chapter 9 we will learn about the function here. And what is actually a function is, if we have to discuss about a function, function is nothing. Function is a block of a code which only runs when it is called. Okay, and you can pass the data inside a function as a parameter or a argument, and now a function can return a data as a result if you would like to return a data from a function. And now there's a lots of advantage of using a function inside a Python. You can simply reduce the duplication of code, you can simply improve the clarity of your code, you can simply reuse your code, or either you can simply hiding your information, right, using the functions. So these are the benefits of using a function here. And now here we have to discuss about the file operation. This is a chapter 10 we have to discuss here. In this chapter, what we will learn, actually, if you like to work with some text file or a different file, if you like to read some file using some Python program, or if you would like to create some new file, or if you would like to edit some file using a Python, so you can simply edit your files, you can simply create new files using a Python script. So this is all about the file handling. Next chapter is classes. And what is actually classes? Before know about the classes, now you have to know Python is an object oriented programming language. Okay, each and everything will be in a Python will be an object. And now what is actually a class is, class is a, you can simply say class is a like an object constructor. Okay, if you like to create some object, so you need a constructor for that, class will work just like in a constructor. And or either you can simply, class is a blueprint for creating your objects. So this we will learn about the classes inside the chapter 11. Also we will learn about the inheritance. Okay, if you like to inherit the properties of one class to another, so we will learn inside the chapter 11. Inside chapter 12 we will learn about the module and packages. And what is actually a module and package here. So if you have write some piece of code inside a file, okay, if you would like to use the same piece of code again into another file, so instead of writing the same code again, you can simply import the, you can simply import the code of that particular file using some keywords just like an import. So that particular file what you will import into another file will called as a module. So this is how can you simply create module inside a Python. So we will learn in chapter 12. In chapter 13, we will learn about the package installation. And now, what is actually a package installation? Let's suppose Python is a very huge programming language. Okay, the library of the Python is very huge. And now, when you will try to install a Python in your machine, approximately around it will take 25 to 30 MB. Okay, the software size of Python. And now, but the point is, if you want to go for a machine learning, okay, you need to install a different library according to your requirement. Or either if you would like to go for a web development, so you need a different library. So Python will not give you the whole library inside a one package. Okay, you can simply install the library according to your requirement from the internet. That was a one official website of a Python, that is pypy.org. So how can you install the packages from there inside in your local machine? So we will learn inside the chapter 13. In chapter 14, if you will discuss about the chapter 14 here, that was actually a regular expression. And what is a regular expression is, regular expression is a spatial sequence of the character, and now that help you match or find the string or a set or a string, or either you using a specialized syntax help in a pattern. Okay, if you like to match a particular string, okay, or either if you will handle, if you will talk about the regular expression, that's the one example. If you are trying to sign up on a website, okay, and now there you have to set a password. Okay, now the point is, if you will not enter the numerical digit inside a password, so you will get a prompt, you will get an error there, please enter the numeric digit, as well as you have to enter the uppercase, lowercase, special character. So those type of testing have been has been done using the regular expressions. Okay. So in chapter 15, we will learn about the manage Excel with Python. So in chapter 15, we will learn about the how can you simply edit your Excel sheets without using any third-party software. Only you can simply edit your Excel sheets using a Python programming language. And for this, you have to need some module as well as, right? In chapter 16, and now from chapter 16, the advanced course will be start from here. And now in this chapter, we will learn about the generators. And what is actually a generator is, generator functions allow you to declare a function that behave like an iterator. What is iterator? We have already discussed. Iterator will give you the next value when you will always execute an iterator. Okay, when you will try to call an iterator, it always give you the next value. And they allow programs, and the generators also allow the programs to make an iterator in a fast, easy, and a clean way. Okay, that's actually a generator is. In chapter 17, we will learn about the decorators here. And now, decorators are very powerful and useful tool in Python. If you have already heard about the decorator, and now what is why we are using a decorator here? Because decorator allow us to wrap another function in order to extend the behavior of wrap function. Okay, without permanently modifying the older function. So if you are using a decorator here, so you don't need to modify the older function. You can simply upgrade those functions without modifying it using the decorator. In chapter 18, we will learn about the anonymous function, okay, and we will also learn about the list comprehensive using the anonymous function, okay, or we will also learn about the map filter reduce function here. And if you will discuss about the anonymous function, what is actually is anonymous function is, so you can simply say anonymous function is a function that is defined without a name, while a normal function are always defined using a def keyword, but in case of anonymous functions, you can simply define the anonymous function using the lambda keyword. Okay, and now anonymous functions are also called the lambda function as well as. Okay, in chapter 19, we have to learn about the threads. And now, if we have to, what is actually a thread is and why we are using a thread. If you would like to reduce the execution timing of your program, so in that case, we have to use a thread here. Now, let's suppose if you are trying to execute your program, okay, and inside your program, you have created multiple functions. And now let's take in a point. If single function will take 5 seconds for execution, and now you have created a 5 function inside your program, so the whole program will take around 25 seconds for execution. And now the because when you will execute your program, it will only create a one process in your memory, and that particular function, that particular process will take around 25 seconds. So instead of using a normal programming, you can simply create a 5 threads inside your program, and you can simply assign a different tasks to all 5 threads, and all 5 threads will be executed parallelly. So the same program would you have already execute in 25 seconds, you can simply execute in 5 seconds as well as using the thread. So using a thread, you can simply reduce the execution timing as well as it will increase the computation power. Okay. In chapter 20, we have to learn about the distributing module. And now what is actually distributing module is, so we have already discussed if you like to install some library from the internet, that was the official website pypy.org. And now how can you create those type of libraries and modules in your local machine, and how can you upload those library on top of the official website of Python? So we will learn those things inside of chapter 20. Now, in chapter 21, we have to learn about the Django framework. Now, what is actually Django is, if you like to create a backend of any website, okay, if you have already knowledge about the little bit knowledge about the web development. So because in case of web development, you have to do setup. The first is user interface. Either you can simply front-end programming and the back-end programming. And how can we simply use a Django here? So the first of all, if you like to do a front-end programming, in case of front-end programming, you have a knowledge of HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. But in case of backend, if you like to create a backend of any website, so Django is a very popular framework in case of Python, okay, as well as there's alternative of Django here, just like an you can also use a pyramid and the flash. Those are the alternative of the Django. But Django is a very popular framework in case of web development. It will also give you the dashboard. Okay, it will also give you the by inbuilt database. Okay, SQLite. So it will give you the multiple functionalities in the template. Okay, only have to modify the some templates and your work will be done. So we will learn about the Django inside a chapter 21. And on the last chapter, we will learn about the API here, not least. And now we will learn about the API inside this chapter. What is actually API is application programming interface. Everybody is know, but we will learn also here how can you simply send a text message using the API. How can you simply get and post data using the API? How can you simply use a REST API? So we will learn all these things inside a chapter 23. So this is all the course content what we gonna cover. And now if you will cover all the course content, you will be able to write automation scripts you will be able to write, or after that you can also go for a machine learning and the artificial intelligence. So this is all about the Python and you have to cover this. Goodbye.